Marvin Gonzales' misguided stance on utility rate. Increases shows hypocrisy and failed leadership. An editorial by Professor Wall Street. Former Minister of Public Utilities Marvin Gonzales has resurfaced with strong criticism of the current UNC government's decision to scrap the PNM's proposed restructuring plans for T and Tech and WASA. He calls the decision not financially feasible and laments the shelving of an 80 million IDB-supported WASA transformation initiative. But Gonzales, like much of the recently ousted PNM leadership, is in no position to lecture the nation about feasibility, responsibility, or reform, especially not after the damage his administration inflicted on the people of Trinidad and Tobago. His statements not only demonstrate a profound disconnect from the financial realities facing ordinary citizens, but also reveal a stunning hypocrisy given his own administration's poor track record on public utilities management and poverty reduction. Here are 10 reasons why Marvin Gonzales is absolutely wrong and has no moral authority to speak on this matter. 1. The PNM imposed historic financial pressure on citizens. Under Gonzales' watch, the PNM administration pushed the cost of living to unbearable levels. Between 2015 and 2024, utility rates were set to increase while public services deteriorated. His government repeatedly squeezed working-class citizens while protecting elites. 2. 26.3% of Black Trinidadians were left below the poverty line. When the UNC left office in 2015, 17.3% of Black Trinidadians were living below the poverty line. Under the PNM, Gonzales included, that number ballooned to 26.3%, the highest in modern T&T history. That speaks volumes about their policies' real-world impact. 3. Gonzales presided over a failing WASA. Gonzales touts the WASA restructuring plan, yet water access worsened dramatically during his tenure. Thousands of citizens in urban and rural areas alike went days, sometimes weeks without water. Promises of transformation yielded no practical results. 4. WASA's IDB plan was never transparent or people-centered. The so-called transformation plan was drafted without meaningful public consultation. Its focus leaned heavily on privatization and outsourcing rather than ensuring equitable water access for all. The IDB's financial support is not an endorsement of merit, but of alignment with international austerity models. 5. T&Tech's debt didn't start overnight. Gonzales now laments T&Tech's debt to NGC, estimated at $3.5 billion. But this financial bleeding began under his watch. He had the opportunity to reform billing, enforce collection, and improve efficiency. He did none of it. 6. He supported rate increases without service guarantees. The former minister backed proposals for T and Tech and WASA rate hikes without guaranteeing improved or consistent service delivery. Citizens were expected to pay more while getting less, an approach that is neither equitable nor sustainable. 7. PNM's utility policies were politically motivated. It is rich for Gonzales to accuse the new government of being blinded by political considerations when the PNM blatantly used utility reform as a tool for political favor, rewarding insiders with contracts while neglecting core infrastructure. 8. Marvin Gonzales had no long-term vision. Despite numerous press conferences and reform announcements, Gonzales left behind no tangible legacy, no measurable increase in water reliability, no significant grid improvements at T and Tech, and no transparency on spending. 9. He is now fear-mongering post-election. Gonzales' sudden alarmism about default debt, and economic collapse is textbook fearmongering. Where was this concern during his tenure when the government borrowed excessively with little to show for it? 10. The people rejected Gonzalez' record at the polls. Let us not forget, the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago voted decisively on April 28, 2025, for a change in direction. That vote was not just a rejection of PNM policy. It was a verdict on the failure of Gonzalez's entire approach to governance. In conclusion, it is political hypocrisy that Gonzalez accuses the current administration of being blinded by political considerations, while his own administration's utility management decisions were consistently influenced by political expediency rather than sustainable service delivery. Marvin Gonzalez's attempt to reframe himself as a voice of reason is disingenuous at best. He was part of a government that pushed our utility services into disarray while exacerbating economic inequality. Mr. Gonzalez had his chance. The people paid the price. Now it's time to move forward with transparency, compassion, and people-centered governance. Fear and red tricks will no longer work. The UNC government's decision to reconsider tea and tech rate increases and to reject the previous administration's WASA transformation plan reflects a necessary recalibration of priorities. Unlike the previous government that allowed unprecedented levels of poverty while contemplating higher utility costs, this administration appears to recognize that public utilities must serve the public good rather than function as revenue-generating entities at the expense of the most vulnerable.